Afternoon, laser chums. Javo back again for another video. This time I'm joined by James. Good to see you, James.
Good to see you, James.
James is an expert in IT. He works in IT. He's been working in IT for quite some time. He helps us with our IT. James, the hell is IT?
It's not this man. We're actually talking about IT. We've worked together on little IT projects, and I work in IT, talking about cybersecurity, how to make your computers work all the time, and as you can tell, someone finds it exceedingly exciting.
It's riveting. It's very exciting. It's almost as exciting as accountancy, by the sound of it. Yeah. Well, what we're going to do today is a joint project. James is going to do the IT, and I'm going to do the lasering, and we're going to talk about QR codes. So we pretty much all know what a QR code is. Since COVID, they've been around, track and trace. Pubs have them now on the tables for your menus. James, can you explain a little bit more detail how a QR code works?
Yep, the history of a quick response code is in 1994. Masahiro Hara invented these in Japan for helping tracking vehicles when they went through manufacture.
James, just indulge me. Pretend for 1 second that I'm an idiot.
I'm already there. They are a collection, as you saw, of shapes, blocks, dots, with an embedded code or link in the back end to take you to something else.
So while we've got that being engraved on the engraver, and there should be a video somewhere here-ish of that engraving, we'll ask some frequently asked questions about QR codes. So James, are we going to run out of QR codes?
No. You could have one for every single picture that someone has got taken across the globe, and there'd still be billions of them left over. They are infinite.
Okay. Does size matter?
On a camera, no, because we can zoom in and zoom out. However, James, in regards to size, what's your limitation?
Limitation is on what we can engrave and make it still readable as engraving. So we wouldn't engrave a QR code less than 25mm. That's perfectly reasonable and quickly readable. If we're going below 25mm, we will come away from a QR code and we will go into DMC codes, which we'll discuss on another video.
Excellent.
So final question, are they secure? Should we be worried about QR codes?
No. There is a level of where you are, but internal doing stuff like this and where you'd expect to see them, so in the pub, at museum, those kind of places, absolutely fine. Our advice that we would give is don't scan one that someone's printed and stuck on a lamppost. Same as within anything, we don't click on links we don't know.
Yep, okay. Thank you, James, for that fascinating insight into QR codes. We actually use QR codes internally in the building so that we can keep an eye on the maintenance and the service schedule of our machines. And we have got a little QR code down here. We made the QR code and James did the IT. So James, if you'd like to talk about the IT of where this QR code goes, and I'll leave you to it.
So using an online forms process, we've created a URL. So upon scanning the URL, this now takes us to an online form as it loads, where these are then filled in. So starting off with the date, and the person completing it, make a model of the machine, its serial number, and then just going through a tick box exercise of what's been cleaned, what's been checked, and if there are any issues. If there are any issues, then they need to be reported. And that then gets taken through to the online responses, and once every week or once every month, that's then pulled down for work to be then checked over, and if there are any issues, those put right. So now we'll jump over to the machine and have a quick look and see what that looks like at the other end.
So here we are at the machine stroke device stroke computer, as James likes to call it. We can see here the questions on the online form. and we can see here that there are the responses, and we can see that there's been 2 so far today. Who's filled them in, which are both James, which are the 2 machines, what their serial numbers are, then what's complete, what's not required, against each filling in. So are there any problems to report? Yeah, there was one lot of yes and one lot of no, and we can see here what the responses were. So in regards to the problems, which says mirror 3 requires replacing, and also James has spilt his tea in an area. So that's great, but we don't know what machine that's in relation to, so we can then open that in Excel. So now that that's finished downloading, we can open this up, and we can see here the responses that we've got. We can even see the ID numbers, but more importantly, date, person completing it, what the machine was, the serial number, and where the issues lie. So as you can see here, with the lens on number 4, it was completed on Speedy 400, but on Speedy 300 it wasn't required on this week's. However, we can see here that there's a problem in the working area and on mirror 2 and 3, and that then relates to number 3 needing replacing, and also, if we look in here, James spilling his tea in the area around the Speedy 300. This is then saved and piled away into the maintenance folder, so that we've got that in response, and then ready for next week. We then delete all the responses, delete them, and get them out of the way. And that's as simple and as easy as we could make it.
Well, thank you, James, for educating us in the IT side of QR codes.
And James, thank you for showing me how that came about and how they got to the machines. I'm sure everyone's loved seeing that.
All very interesting, isn't it? So there you go, QR codes. Whatever you say, QR codes are going to be around forever. They're a great way for tagging your assets, for keeping on top of stock, even for marketing.
James, they're also a really great way of saving the environment. Through that entire process, not a single piece of paper has been used.
That's also a valid point, and that's a good point, because if I had a piece of paper here, I would have lost it by the time I got back to my desk. So yeah, that's a good point. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time for the next video. Cheers for now.